So you find yourself in a position where you have more consumer credit debt than you'd like. The balance on your credit cards is higher than you'd like, and there are so many of them. What is the best way to consolidate that debt without hurting your credit? We're going to find out right after this. So how best to consolidate debt without hurting your credit? Well, one thing that you can do is shop for low interest rate credit cards. So watch out for those high interest for cash transfer fine print details. But there are always cards either offered to you online, you find them in your mailbox, you find them in your inbox, and if you don't have any coming your way, you can Google them and go their way. But make sure that there's not going to be a high interest for cash balance transfers. You want to make sure that it's a low rate, even if it's for 6 months or a year. The difference between a low rate of 2, 3, 4% and the 16, 18, 22, 24% you're paying now is huge. So that's one thing you could do. Another thing that you can do, if you own a home, you can get a much lower interest rate if you own a home that has equity in it and you take out a HELOC. That's a home equity line of credit. That money you'll be borrowing at 6, 7, 8% as opposed to in the 20s. Hey, if you'd like investment or planning clarification, please feel free to leave a comment, send me a message, or if you want to get valuable details on the truth about money, then go to judycopenbarger.com, click the green Discover the Truth button. It is there that you're going to find a great in-depth course that gives you insights and amazing actionable steps to help you secure a future that's going to put you in a positive direction financially for generations to come. So back to debt. Here's another point. You want to avoid those consolidation companies for the most part. There are a few good ones, but they're taking a hard-to-pay bunch of bills and rolling them all into one impossible-to-pay bill. So maybe you had some $200, $300, $400 payments, and now it's like $2,000 a month. That's not going to get you very far. Here's the other thing you need to know about the consolidation debt repayment strategy companies. They're going to go with your debt to the companies that you owe, and they're going to negotiate for pennies on the dollar what they're going to pay back, and they're going to keep the difference. So you're paying them to actually take the difference of your debt and put it in their pocket. Not that it's always a bad thing, but for the most part, you could probably do a lot of that yourself and save a lot of money and a lot of stress. And here's another point. You want to always make sure you're paying on time all the time. This will help you avoid penalties. It'll help you avoid those credit dings that are just going to make it take longer to rebuild. By the way, be sure you check out our other videos on credit cards, debt, credit reporting. You'll be so glad you did. And finally, and most importantly, communicate with these credit card companies. You know, we talked about that pennies on the dollar thing. They will likely work with you, especially now. I have so many stories from my personal reference, working with successful clients. With just a few calls, they've been able to eliminate or substantially reduce debt, whether it's IRS, credit cards, consumer debt. It's amazing what can be negotiated if you get on the phone politely and ask. So because you have gained amazing value regarding ways to consolidate your debt and credit position, please do me a favor. Share and like this video, hit the bell to receive notifications of other great videos, and leave us a comment about your experience with your credit in the future. I'm Judy Copenbarger. Thanks for joining us today. God bless.